This is Studio Inferno, your Jupiter flyby to the beyond. Tonight, we are hardwired into the brain of Edgar Allan Poe for the first episode of Being Rich, or you can take it with you. Mr. Poe, may I call you Edgar?
Yes.
It says here that in 1849, you wrote two pieces taking off on the California gold rush.
Von Kempelen and his discovery and Eldorado.
Hey, it says here that you died in that year, too. Sorry. So, what was the point to von Kempelen and his discovery?
I intended it as a kind of exercise or experiment in the verisimilar style.
The very who?
A kind of virtual reality, as you might put it, but applied to the written word.
Hard to visualize, Edgar. Hard to visualize. So, what happens in it?
The tale allegedly reports on the successful transmutation of lead into gold. I thought that such a style, as applied to the gold excitement, could not fail of effect.
I dig it. All these young dudes running out buying tents and picks and shovels and Levi's and shit, and then the whole thing is called off because gold isn't worth anything anymore. Hey, it's like, America, stand down, baby.
The idea of arresting in midair the tidal wave of hysteria sweeping the land with the news that gold is no longer of any value whatsoever was a dream worth dreaming.
Dream it again, Edgar. Dream it again.
It is a dream of lasting value that could become the cornerstone in a new national economy.
Yeah. You mean like a new spiritual unit of exchange, like wampum before the white man turned it into money. So, what about Eldorado?
At the same time, I was moved by a serene and less contrary being.
Edgar, you know, when most people hear your name, they think of the horror story dude.
Many people have a sense of loss which they associate with innocence or beauty, which they last knew as children.
And you work that side of the street too?
Yes, I work that side of the street too.
I hope our viewers can groove with this because Edgar and I are getting down to basics. So, what was it with this serene and less contrary being?
He was easy to discern in the crowd. Probably oblivious to the tumult around him, he made his cheerful way, half humming, half singing a song that rose and fell with the barometer of his spirit. He had a cool, dry aura.
A cool, dry aura. Wow. It's like dusk in the desert. It's a Carlos Castaneda thing, man. Who was this dude?
He was not unaware of the degree of difficulty facing him, and his determination to overcome it gave him an inner strength, which, however, was not always evident in his expression. In fact, sometimes I encountered him when he was frankly exhausted.
Hey, man, that'll happen.
At such times, I have no words of consolation for him and can only exhort him to continue. I miss him when he goes.
But Edgar, we have now arrived at the moment of truth. Who was that masked man?
His name is Eldorado.
Wait a minute. You mean the poem? You mean he was the poem? That's really far out, man. Wow. Hey, man, could you
Run it by us? Edgar, just do your Edgar thing.
Gaily bedight, a gallant knight in sunshine and in shadow traveled along, singing a song in search of Eldorado. But he grew old, this knight so bold, and o'er his heart a shadow fell as he found no spot of ground that looked like Eldorado. And as his strength failed him at length, he met a pilgrim shadow. "Shadow," said he, "where can it be, this land of Eldorado?" Over the mountains of the moon, down the valley of the shadow, ride, boldly ride. The shade replied, "If you seek for Eldorado, if you seek for Eldorado,